On this week's podcast, Billie and I talk about one of the greatest humans on earth, seeing Beyoncé in concert. That is how high her the standard is for Beyoncé, where you're not going to get her on a bad night. It doesn't exist. We get excited about our favourite summer sporting events, Wimbledon and Ascot.
I love how passionate you are about
I love a little hat. I've only been to Ascot once.
Yeah.
And I wore a little one with this black net that came over my face. It was really... I just felt like I kind of had a little alter ego for the day.
We also talk about our favourite summer accessories that we're loving.
Fish jewellery is a big trend also.
And lastly, we answer your dilemmas. Would you let your fiancé have a stripper at his stag do?
If I'm having one at mine, he can have one.
It's only fair. Make sure you don't miss it. Hello and welcome to the SL Vodcast. I'm your host, Nana Acheampong, and today I'm joined by the lovely Lou and Billie. Hi guys.
Hi.
We are going to be talking all things new and noteworthy, what you need to keep your eye on at SL, celebrity moments, and also answering your dilemmas. But before we get into it, for this week's competition, Morad are kindly offering a full skin and body bundle, which is focused on retinoids to elevate your routine. It is worth over £472. You need to get involved. To enter, if you could please comment below what you'd love to see from SL, and you'll be in with a chance of winning. Amazing. Right. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How are you? Before we start chatting, I'd like to describe what we are wearing each.
We are not a colourful group today. We are all in monochrome, basically.
I think we look chic.
Yeah. So Lou, please talk me through your monochrome outfit.
I got a little cashmere jumper from COS on, my new favourite necklace from Define, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Tailored pants from Marcella, London, from a couple of years ago, which I was so long forever, and then I finally got them taken up, and I was like, why did I leave it so long to do that? And then Essen flats, which are my absolute favourite shoesies right now.
They look really comfy.
They are so comfy. And do you know what? I had a predicament the other day when it was pissing down with rain. What summer shoes you wear in the rain? Because I'm not wearing boots. That season is gone. And all my shoes are strappy or sandally or suede.
Yeah.
I've also then got these holy shoes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wore them and they were actually fine.
Oh, maybe you just walk so fast that
I do
the rain just doesn't
really
touch your
fast.
feet.
Ask Charlotte Collins. She hates walking with me.
Slow down.
She
Oh my
hates
God,
it.
remind me not to walk with
Oh,
you.
you were a walker.
I feel like I've really tried to work on my pace to become an average walker, but I just know that I'm not keeping up with.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's my favourite thing when there's an end destination and I see the competition in front who are walking slowly and I'm like, I'm going to pass you and then I'm going to trump you, and then honestly, that's my exercise.
Yeah. Fast walking. I'm
Yeah.
into it. Billie, what are you wearing?
I have got on some silk trousers from Renee Studio, a woven t-shirt from COS. This is actually a men's Wrangler jacket, but I love it because it's got a big cowboy doing a lasso on the back.
Yeah.
And some suede chunky sandals from June.
Yeah, I actually tried those on. They are very comfortable.
They're so comfy. They're padded.
Yeah,
They've got a
they're
padded sole.
Yeah.
Ooh,
However, I did wear them in the rain, not purposefully. I just didn't check the weather app, and it was a little bit slip slidey.
Yeah, you got caught out.
You would have been
all over the place.
You would have been you would have been dry.
You've been walking fast, so you'd be fine. Yeah, you'd be absolutely fine.
Walking
These feet don't even touch the ground.
Yeah, walking on water over here.
I am wearing a black drop hem backless dress from ASOS, which I've had for a couple of seasons now and I just love. And then I've got some zebra print, super comfortable block heel, kind of pony skin shoes that are from Next.
Next?
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
They look so expensive.
They really do.
Yeah, I'm really into them. New and noteworthy. Guys, what are we loving? What is new that you have spotted this week?
On the weekend, I watched the Freddie Flintoff documentary, which is on Disney. It's been out for a couple of weeks, but it's his story following his crash a couple of years ago when he was on Top Gear.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, but he kind of went into hiding for 7 months. He was totally out of the public eye and he wanted to tell his side of the story from it. And it is fascinating. It's really sad. He is obviously was a mega athlete and then an incredible presenter, so much energy, so much joy, a real character.
Yeah.
And
Has that been taken away, do you think?
You can, he still remembers it really viscerally. He says every time he gets into bed at night, he sees it, and like he is like watching it like a movie, and you can see it's massively impacted his confidence. And I think that took a really long time to kind of get to the public eye. And he was, he's talking about what his first public appearance will be and what will that be, and everyone kind of wanting to get the shot and things like that. And it's a great watch, but the kind of the overarching, I guess, like theme you get towards the end of it is that cricket has kind of really saved him, and that sport, which obviously kind of launched his career, kind of brings him back as well. And he found that as kind of like his therapy and what he can do for the community and bringing kids up. And it's just a really interesting to watch. And, he talks about his mental health and the impact on his family. And I mean, it's incredible. He talks about the moment in the crash when he was in a 3-wheeler car and they were trying to get him to like lift it and turn it. And it obviously flips over. Anyway, he said in a split second, he made the decision that if he landed on his neck, he would break his neck. If he landed on his temple, he would die. So he had to go face down. And he was dragged along the runway for 50 meters, face down.
It really like makes my skin.
Oh my God.
Makes my belly drop.
Yeah, and the guy that did his surgery said it's in the top 5 worst injuries that he's seen, or kind of reconstructive that he's done. And he talks about how at the point it would have been easier if he died. It's not that he wished he had died, and it wasn't about suicide, but I guess the kind of the toll it takes for him, his family, everyone around him. It's fascinating.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
he is such a like, you know him as like a really energetic, fun, carefree, kind of character. And what I find so like, it's not weird, but it is weird when you see like human things happen to celebrities. Like you see
they're just
them,
people
they're
as
just
well,
people,
like the same as
and like
any of us.
How do you pick yourself back up after something that changes your life that dramatically?
Yeah,
and still be in the public eye as
well.
Like,
totally.
I totally get why he kind of like reclused back and didn't want to see anyone or do anything, because
the expectation is that
exactly.
you haven't changed, that because you're this persona, you're meant to just carry on being, but like you can't.
Not.
And the persona is also like a kind of happy-go-lucky fun guy and like a daredevil, and you can't be then either of those things anymore. And he also talks about the kind of conversation sometimes he's had with like producers on, but it's just because he used to do A League of Their Own where they did like crazy funny stunts as well. And they'd be like, but it's just entertainment, or it's just sport, and like, let's just try it. And he was kind of like, at what point is we're actually humans and we're people,
this is
and
our
you're
life.
pushing us too far for entertainment. He kind of poses some interesting questions, I guess, in the media about entertainment and
what
when
he has to
the
do.
line, or just when it goes too far. And I think maybe he's learned lessons from that. But it's really worth a watch.
I do love a good sports documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. What's your favourite?
All of the NBA ones.
The Last Dance.
Yeah.
It's the best sports documentary that's ever been made.
I've never watched that.
Oh my God. It kind of coincided with me going to my first basketball game, the London Lions, and also watching that around the same time. And I'm now obsessed with the NBA.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, take me to any basketball game. It is so good.
It's really
I think it is fascinating when you fall for a sport that you previously had no interest in. But also I think you realise that it's all about the people as well. And I guess the lessons you can learn from it in like life as well.
Yeah,
It's
their
not just about the
dedication
game.
and like what they put into it. And when you see all of that, and it's it's incredible.
I get quite envious of people who like you've got it with tennis, but like really have like their sport in you, and you just kind of forget everything once you're like in that zone.
Yeah.
It is a real passion though, isn't it? I think sport is a passion for a lot of people. I mean, petition for this to be an entire sport episode. But sometimes
we should do a Wimbledon episode.
Yes. Sometimes I'm frustrated by how much passion I have for something I'm not even good at, and I wonder why I can't apply that to things that like, would be more useful
in other areas of life.
Like why don't I have a passion for getting up at 5 a.m. and going for a run instead of a passion for watching 5.5 hour long Grand Slam finals? In the theme of sport, of new and noteworthy, it is grass court season.
Yes. Your favourite?
Yeah, it is my favourite, although I do really love Roland Garros, and shout out to anybody who made it through that final on Sunday, because My watch was telling me every 5 minutes, take a breath.
Yeah.
What?
It was so intense.
Really?
5.5 hours, the longest ever Roland Garros final.
Wow.
Alcaraz came back from 3 championship points that Sinner
Yeah.
had and went on to win another 2 sets.
Yeah.
after
That's
that.
insane.
Insane.
The stamina
I know.
is
5.5
wild.
out,
5.5
like,
hours.
that's how long it took me to run. No, I ran the marathon in 5 hours, 11 minutes. But I always say an hour of that was me just talking to my mates. Like, along the way. Anyone that I saw, I was like, hey! So excited. So to actually like,
When you think about it,
I mean, you could
the like
go on holiday.
mental toll is like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ascot season's here. And for the first time in 50 years, women are going to be playing at Queen's at the HSBC tournament.
Amazing. For me, Taste of London is back. This is honestly one of my favourite, I guess we can call it a festival. For the 3rd year running, SheerLuxe are the media partners, which is very exciting. The dates are the 18th of June until the 22nd of June. I can't believe we're so far
Into
Oh
June.
my God.
into
It was
June,
like
into
January,
the-
like
yeah,
5 minutes
like 2
ago.
minutes ago. So yeah, 18th
What's
of June. That is
Is that
literally
next weekend?
Yeah. Any of you ever been to Taste of London?
Yeah.
before? Have you not?
What,
it's
like, what format does it
brilliant.
take?
It's like a food festival, essentially. So lots of food stands. So this year they've got Roti King, Empire, Rocker.
Oh,
If you're
wow. I
into,
love Rocker.
Bebe Bob, which is the kind of baby restaurant of Bob Ricard.
Yeah.
Loads of like great drinks, cocktails, non-alcoholic cocktails, non-alcoholic wine. I like it because, you know, when you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh, I don't know what to have.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're in the mood for.
So is it all like their signature dishes from those brands?
Yeah, there's lots of
kind
like,
of.
it's all like tiny bites.
That's it. So
Okay.
you can have
Oh,
a
so you
little
can try a
bit of
little bit of
everything.
everything.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's what I love.
Go hungry, go
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
hungry.
perfect.
But they have like amazing guest chefs. They have there's like demonstrations and
Yeah.
like classes and loads of interactive stuff. But
Great.
like, yeah, you just kind of feel your boots on all the delicious food.
Yeah, it's it's one of the highlights of
Yeah,
the summer
yeah,
for
yeah.
me. This year as well, if you go, there are going to be SheerLuxe Loves stickers on all of our favourite kind of like restaurants and food
That's
stands.
fun,
Yeah, exactly. So you'll know what is SL approved. And what I'm so excited about, Sherry is one of the judges this year for the best.
No way!
Yeah, on the opening night for Best in Taste Awards. So if you're there as well, look out for Sherry.
Snaps to Sherry. How
I
fun's that?
know, it's so fun. I want to be a food judge.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So yeah, if you are looking for something to do, I would highly recommend Taste of London, 18th to 22nd of June. We are moving on to Fashion Finds, my favourite segment. What are we loving?
Lou and I have got our eye on the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Do we?
And now I'm inspired because you're wearing it.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A cord necklace.
Yeah, I am obsessed with cord necklaces. Like, obviously, I feel like they kind of started from the row ones
Yeah.
with like the big medallions and there's like the big shells and like the big stones.
Yeah.
But there's also like little cute
Little
ones,
ta-
like this
yeah.
one. So this one's from Delphine, and it's got a little kind of jewelly, so like actually one of their
love-
rings at the bottom with red cord. There's a brand called Dorsey who are based in the States, and they've just launched a new collection called the Paracord collection, and it's basically like climbing
Yeah,
wire,
wire.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
sort of thing,
yeah.
but then with like tennis bracelet on the other side.
Oh,
Isn't that so cool? And so yeah, there's necklaces, there's
Yeah.
bracelets, there's anklets, and I just think that like I love that kind of really polished, really casual
Yeah,
mixed
yeah.
together
Mixed
in the
together,
kind
yeah.
of like tomboy vibe. And
Yeah.
I just think it gives it like that perfect mix of feeling something smart, but then it makes it really casual. Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a step away, or you can add to your like existing stack.
Totally.
It
Oh
doesn't
my
really
gosh, yeah,
take away
anything.
from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And even if you had a
definitely.
really chunky something on and then threw a little cord necklace on,
Yeah.
I feel like the contrasting texture just you're like,
Exactly.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
And also
it
like
works.
if you want to make them, they're really easy to make as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Like,
Very cost effective.
it's something my mum would be like, you paid what for that? I got some rope in the kitchen.
I could have made you that.
Yeah, but I think there's so many good brands thinking about like, this one's Delphine, Heaven Mayhem have got loads, Massimo Dutti, Mango.
Yeah, cause
Polly's new collection with Daisy London
Yes.
has
Yeah.
a really cute one. It's green and it has a little fishy on.
Yeah.
it.
Do you know what fish jewelry is a big trend also?
oh my
Ooh,
gosh,
that's exactly what I was about to
exactly-
talk
Yeah,
about.
she's going
Seamlessly into you.
fish. Yeah, your turn, Billie. Go.
I actually just don't love fish, but I love fish jewelry, clearly.
Okay, cute.
But on holiday, People are going to come for me for this, I'm sure, because it's like, it is their environment. I just don't like it when the fish touch me in the water. However,
you are in their home.
I know, I get it. I'm in their
literally.
habitat. I just need to get over it. I think it's like just a slightly fun, quirkier sort of take on the shell.
Yeah.
Like jewelry vibe. There's some mega cool ones.
Yeah,
I love
there are.
Polly's one. There's a really cool Alighieri one that's on like that's on red rope. I just think you can have a plethora of fish necklaces and look like a really cool fisherman.
And it really does add like something fun to the
Yeah.
outfit.
Oh, 100%.
And you don't have to be on holiday
And
to wear it
especially-
either.
Yeah.
No,
Totally.
my finds at the moment, actually two very different, but they're all shoes. But flat shoes, which I know is a shock to everyone. But when I do go on holiday, I will wear a flat sandal if, like, obviously there's like loads of cobbles or if you're just kind of like walking around. And I love the gold hardware ones that are kind of everywhere at the moment. Especially Zara and Mango have got a pair in that look so delicate where the kind of gold hardware is placed on your feet.
Oh, pretty.
So yeah, it just looks really pretty,
Yeah.
really elegant. And I think that with like a maxi dress or like
Super
denim,
chic.
denim cut off shorts, whatever it is,
Very
look really, really chic. And then back to me being me, I have just bought the most incredible wedged mules from Dries Van Noten that are red snakeskin with kind of like red fun beady bits all around the toe
wow, that's
area.
insane.
Yeah, they're incredible. They had been sold out for ages on their website and then they just landed on net and I was like, add to basket
my gosh,
immediately.
wow.
So yeah, they should be arriving any day now.
I'm really into my like red pop era.
Yes, you are.
And
You had the red shoes on the other day.
I know. And I bought some red silk like long shorts the other day from Lulu Studio.
Yes.
But they just weren't wide enough. Like they just were like static to my leg and they
Yeah.
didn't, I don't know, they weren't the vibe. But
They
I
didn't
really
sit
want to find
properly.
something else in that realm. What do you guys also think of the scarf trend of wearing it as a belt?
I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I love a scarf in, like, I'd have it as like a bandeau, as a top. Like, you know, we've obviously been doing those styling hacks. I think a scarf is the most perfect thing for that because you
helpful.
can just wear it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And even if you're doing it as a belt,
Yeah.
there's so many different ways you could wear it as a belt as well.
Yeah.
It could be a triangle, you could have it all the way through. I mean, that's very 90s.
Yeah, I love the triangle, like the
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
Don't know if you follow Joanna Sipa on Instagram, but she did some really cool, like really simple outfits, and then she just had this simple stripe silk scarf just here, and it just adds like I think for,
whole nother
for the kind
dimension.
of like minimal fashion girlies,
Yeah.
it is a really nice subtle take on just something additional.
Yeah.
And even like
That could be your pop of colour,
Yeah.
even.
and like, you know, even just like tying a thin jumper around your waist. Again, it used to be like over the shoulder,
Yeah.
now it's the waist. Like as a new styling
Yeah.
hack. But yeah, I think it's a nice little,
way.
another dimension.
Yeah.
I actually saw Rixo had done some styling like that on their site where they'd use like a different print to the dress.
Yeah.
And it was just this fun like print clash
Yeah.
moment.
I love a print clash. Yeah.
It's also a one thing that you can pack and use many times over on
Totally.
holiday.
Yeah,
So useful.
exactly. So many. We should probably do that. How many outfits can you get out of this one
silk
scarf?
scarf.
Yeah.
Top, hair tie,
Yeah.
belt, bag accessory.
Bag accessory.
Headband.
Could you have an ankle chief? Is that a thing?
Ankle chief. I mean, it has to be quite a small one because otherwise you end up tripping on it.
True.
It was like too long.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Before we move on, I just want to remind everyone, please make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. It really helps us out. And please comment below what you love about SL. We love to hear it. We are moving on to what we mustn't miss on SL. What have we seen this week that we want to let everyone know about?
On Monday, we ran an edit for hats for Ascot,
Yes.
which for like
It's
Ladies'
next
Day,
week.
which is super exciting. And there were so many beautiful hats on there. Like I feel like from literally looking at that edit, I'm like, I need to go to Ascot.
Yeah. It was, Elaine and I did that one and I had so much fun because obviously Ascot is just one of my favourite.
love it,
I
don't you?
love Ascot. It's
It's
just
so-
one of my
and-
favourite events of the year.
I feel like also those hats are like they're so ageless and timeless.
Yeah.
But you kind of think there's not that much you can do with a hat, but you can do so much with a hat. And there's
Yeah.
so many intricate designs and they're like pieces of art and sculpture and it's so amazing the
Yeah.
variety you can get. And also there's so many on it and in
And
the
rental.
edit that you can rent, which obviously some of them are crazy expensive and you only need them for one occasion. And I feel like once you've worn it you kind of want it.
I have a hat question though, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like a cap I can get on board with, but like a hat feels like a real big step out of my usual style comfort.
Yeah.
So like if you want an entry level hat,
Yeah.
and this is your first like hat wearing experience,
I would say just go and try on loads, because I think you'll feel... I
There's
would
so
say,
many different styles,
Yeah.
obviously, that you don't necessarily have to go for like a really big one.
No,
or
it doesn't need to be
an
a wide brim.
equivalent-
There's some really cool ones that just kind of like sit on the crown of your head, and then have got this sort of like beautiful sculpture. There's one from Jess Collar, and she's got loads of amazing ones, and it's like navy, and it just kind of sits here, and then it's got this almost like little scallop detailing around here, which is
pretty.
so chic. And then one that's just kind of more like a goes on your sort of crown with a little bit. So I feel like you could easily dip into it without feeling like, whoa, I've got a lot
this
of
is
hat
like
going
too much.
on.
Yeah.
but you need to go and try them on.
And volume.
Yeah.
I think so, because I think you might have an idea of what you think, and actually you put it on and you're like, ooh, fun.
Took my dad to Fornham's yesterday for Father's Day so he could be a big brat. And they actually have like a whole floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've got like a
They
special
do.
kind
They've
of
kind of
collaboration
taken
at the minute.
over. It used to be Fenwick on Bond Street. But
Yeah.
obviously that's gone now. So Fortnum and Masons are doing it this year.
Yeah, it's like a whole like chapeau floor where
Amazing.
there's, I mean, a million different, there were some incredible ones up there. So I'm not going to Ascot, but if I was, that's probably where I'd go to try on
Yeah.
a ton of hats.
Yeah, so
100%.
fun.
Or even like somewhere like John Lewis also have like a really great selection.
Yeah, John Lewis is
and
really good.
You don't have to, like you say, you don't have to go for the big kind of like wide brim. It could even be like a headband with like some netting, or like there's so many different.
I also love the ones that are sort of like on the side,
Yeah.
and then like create this like, I don't know, I feel like you can draw out your cheekbones with ones like that.
I love how passionate you are about
I
it.
love a little hat. I've only been to Ascot once.
Yeah.
And I wore like a little one with like this black net that came over my face. It was really, I just felt like I kind of had a little alter ego for the day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
it
chic,
is. You turn into
chic
like
widow.
another kind of like
Yeah.
character. Like, I've worn some really. One of my favourite ones last year was from Rachel Trevor Morgan, who I always get my hats
Is that the green
from.
one?
The white with the
Yeah.
green one that was like super wide brim, and honestly, it was just
It looks so good.
It
on
was
you.
phenomenal.
Also, I think it's fun because it's really not something you wear every day.
Exactly.
So it's almost like when you get to go to a black tie dinner and you're like, ooh, fun dress
Yeah,
up.
the big dress.
Yeah. So I feel like it's just something a little bit
It's not
more...
everyday life. Like, I do think it's a great advertising campaign when it's like the Ascot you is very different to
Yeah, sure.
the kind of you.
Yeah.
Polly and I were just having a conversation because she's going, and she's like, oh, I don't know what to wear. And she was like, one thing I do love about Ascot is there's probably one of those social occasions where it's okay to wear white.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can't do it at a wedding or anywhere else. And you could go all out on a white dress at Ascot and you wouldn't look out of place. Fancy it?
No. I went once
still
years
no.
and years ago.
Yeah.
But I just, of all of the summer sporting occasions, that's just not the one for me.
Wimbledon's literally right after that. So
You're saving yourself.
Greatest time of year.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is. How many times are you going?
Going once so far, but I think I'll just like get there 4 a.m. and queue on a
Yeah.
couple of days.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a hardcore fan.
Oh,
You
I
know?
love that.
I camped one
Oh,
year.
so
Did you?
Yeah.
What's the best game you've ever seen?
I did see Andy Murray win his first Wimbledon title, which was amazing.
Oh my gosh, that just actually sent shivers down my spine.
Yeah, it
That's-
was unbelievable. And I saw Coco Gauff beat Venus Williams in her first Wimbledon tournament. She was 15.
Wow.
And it was like, that was a whole body chills.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't believe what I'm seeing kind of vibe.
I get really emotional when I watch big groups just like focusing on one thing, like when I go to a concert.
Yeah.
And you realise everyone's got busy lives and they've all got their own things going on, but at that point, they're there for that moment.
Yeah.
And I find that really emotional.
Yeah.
I
that
think
is-
like live music and live sport is kind of like the best of what humans can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, it's little old me with no talent here. All these people with so much talent. Like, we both went to Beyonce.
Yeah.
We're both human and yet so vastly different. Like, that she's just unbelievable.
Yeah, she's unreal. That does lead us on to hot topics and our favourite celebrity moments of the week. Mine was obviously going to be Beyonce because I've seen her twice this
You
week.
saw her twice this week?
I saw her twice.
How did it compare both
Yeah.
times?
Well, this is what I thought was really interesting. They were pretty much exactly the same, which for me is that is how high her like the standard is
Yeah.
for Beyonce, where you're not going to get her on a bad night. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't exist. Like she is just phenomenal.
She's Virgo to her
every single
core.
Wow.
every single time. Like the only
Is she singing live the whole time?
yeah, the only difference was that the first show, one of the songs, Irreplaceable, the whole audience sang it, which was like
It was magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was magic. Like that was absolute chills.
Yeah.
Like she did that classic singer thing where she's just like that,
Yeah,
holding
yeah.
the microphone, and you think it's just going to be like the first couple of lines.
Yeah.
It was the entire song.
And she was
Like,
shook.
she
She was
literally
shook.
was like, I can't believe like that's just happened.
Yeah.
That didn't
Was it
happen.
like genuine shook? Because when we went to see Tay Tay, she did that, and then
Yeah.
was like, she does that every night in that reaction. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
that's
I think
what
because
you do.
people see it on TikTok, and so they then like expect to do it
Yeah,
the next night. But it was like, obviously that was her first night of the tour.
Like,
in
and it
the
didn't
UK.
happen the second time that I went, so that's why.
so interesting.
Yeah, like she sung the second time I went, she
Okay.
sung the song, and people kind of like came in when they did. But
Yeah.
she was singing the whole thing, and I was like, oh, I want that moment again.
Yeah, I mean, there
So-
are just other there are people who are like otherworldly, aren't they?
Yeah,
like,
she
she's one of them.
is 100% one of them. As are her children.
Yeah.
Like they are clearly like Blue Ivy.
I've seen so many
is-
clips of her dancing. I feel like I've been there.
But the pressure, like you have to be a star.
Yeah.
I feel like there was no pressure. I feel like she just wanted to be a star. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but just imagine like living in that in that shadow of
Yeah.
like your parents being like two of the most iconic people in like music history, not just like modern history, like history
Ever.
full stop.
Yeah.
And imagine if you were tone deaf, like or like had no rhythm or
would
like
be me, yeah.
couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'd
But
be
then
like,
I feel like you're then like, I'm just going to go into a completely different path.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
you'd
in
have
that.
to.
That's it. You just
be like a
wouldn't put your-
scientist or something.
It's
Yeah,
almost
you
like
just wouldn't
more
put
awkward to
yourself-
be like really into it and like just a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like really want to do it.
Yeah, and I saw the last tour, obviously, because I'm a big Beyonce stan. And Blue has just come on like heaps and pounds. I'm like,
So she
oh
was
my
in the
God.
last one too?
She was in the last
Yeah.
one too, and she
Okay.
got a bit of stick because it was a
Yeah.
bit like, you're just here because like you're
Yeah.
Beyonce's your mum. Fair, I would still be there.
Yeah.
Like I would ride that. However, like this time, no, she could. Just like she's been in an audition, she's been in all of those classes. Like she is so good. It's insane.
She looked like she enjoyed it a lot
Yeah.
more this time too, and like she was such a baby.
Yeah, she was like 12.
She's in
11
like
or something.
14
Yeah.
now, right?
And then she brings out her other little one, Rumi, who just kind of stands there and smiles, and you're like, oh,
It's really cute. It's really
as well.
cute.
She's just like,
The thing that gets me about the Beyonce shows is like the level of production. Like it's not just a concert.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a show. She's on for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Same as like Taylor, I get.
Yeah.
But I have to say, how I feel about Beyonce, I get like obviously people feel like that about Taylor
Yeah.
Swift, but. However, Beyonce, the dancing, the kind of like the staging,
Yeah.
the everything, like obviously Taylor sings and she's on for like
Yeah.
a really long amount of time, but the athleticism of Beyonce
Yeah.
on that stage is just like nothing else.
It is
And also,
unmatched,
like,
yeah.
How old is Beyonce now?
43.
We all Googled that after the show, didn't we?
I knew before, but yeah.
And also, I saw that she has like struggled really though to sell out some of the tickets, so she's giving them to like soup kitchens.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, a lot of people have
think
been
it was
like
quick.
upgraded.
It was quick
Yeah,
to turn
it was
another
it was
tour
2
around.
years.
It wasn't a
Yeah.
necessary tour.
No.
But
Because
what-
a lot of it was like she did a lot of renaissance in
Yeah.
this tour.
But that's weird, I think, to not have a sellout. No,
I mean, it looks sold out when I'm there, but it is. I think.
it was like big chunks of the stadium.
But it is like a quite a divisive album.
Yeah, it's a country album, which I think a lot of people kind of like didn't buy
Okay,
into.
so she doesn't go into the old stuff.
a
She
little
does,
bit.
she does a
but
bit.
Not.
Okay.
It's not that show. She feeds into it. Like you definitely get like the classic bangers. I think people.
So she didn't do Crazy in Love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
She did Crazy Enough, she did Diva, she did Irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable.
She did If
I
I Were
Were
a Boy.
There's a little bit of Destiny's Child.
There's a bit of Deja Vu.
Yeah.
What that show did really scream to me is I want an Eras tour. Like I want a Taylor version, a Beyonce version of the Taylor. I want an Eras tour.
Yes, I've never even thought of that.
Yeah.
That is such
I want
a good
the greatest.
idea.
I want the greatest hit.
Yeah.
That's such,
But like
yeah.
Day
From
Dot
start,
Destinies.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah. Anyway, favourite moment of the week?
I haven't watched it yet because it actually comes out tomorrow on Hulu, but it's the Alex Cooper documentary.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's called Call Her Alex.
Yeah.
Alex Cooper obviously has Call Her Daddy podcast. It's
Yeah.
huge. I think it's the second biggest in America
Yeah.
after Joe Rogan's podcast. And she is just a force. I am so impressed with her and totally like in awe of her. From going from this like very silly podcast of two mates just talking about like sex at uni and like college men and all those interactions to
Where she is now.
taking on like the biggest entertainment names and like actually having really interesting, engaging conversations that still like resonate with some of the silliness of what Call Her Daddy originated as. But yeah, this is a 2-part documentary that kind of like, I suppose, documents her empire now that she has grown, because she has other podcasts on the roster. Like it's a media. She's a media mogul.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow.
Wow, I know. Another person where you're like, well, where can I channel all of this energy?
Just don't
like,
Google her age and then compare it to yourself. I'm like so curious to see what that looks like and where does it go from here? Like how do you even scale that further than what it is?
Seriously impressive, but also like there must be some, like, what is it about her, do you think, that has made her have that like
what people
massive
resonated
success? Because
with.
you know there's a lot of podcasts of of people thinking like, oh, I can come on here and talk about sex with my bestie and like be relatable, and I think people like really do relate to that kind of vulnerability and being open and day-to-day stuff you can relate to. But like, what is about her, do you think, that's made it so different?
I think she did do the taboo topics like quite openly.
And quite early on.
And quite early on,
when no one else was really.
Exactly.
Especially when podcasts weren't as massive as they are now. She was kind of there from the beginning, I guess.
And look, there's like, I don't think we can ignore the like pretty privilege that maybe she enjoys too.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to put her on a cover of a magazine to talk about when she's really good
and also
looking.
how huge America is. I feel like if you've cracked America, it's like you've cracked the world basically, because of how large the population is and how many people you do reach.
And that isn't to take away from her smarts. Like she's so clever with how she's kind of plot twisted and turned her like career.
Yeah.
And she's done it in a really like open way.
Yeah. You've been there along the ride type thing.
I remember listening to Call Her Daddy when it like first started, and I was like, oh my God, this is feral. But also I loved that it was like, it was literally like the conversations you'd have with your girlfriends the morning after a big night out.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, do you remember this? Oh my God, did I actually do that? Oh my God, that guy. Oh my God, ew. Like it was so of a time. Obviously she was living that time, but it was like, God, this is nice to hear like this silliness out loud. But how do you go from that to like Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
And, getting like huge names on your podcast, but them divulging things they've never said out loud, like Gwyneth Paltrow rating the men that she slept with, and like, but also like people sharing really like quite dark things and quite vulnerable things. And I think I think she's an absolute skill.
But I mean, that's like down to her personality.
Totally.
I think when you've got someone who can immediately make you feel at ease, feel comfortable, be able to open up, be able to have conversations that maybe like, or I guess
I feel like Josh is so good at that.
Yeah,
for
so good
example.
at it.
Like that happens, I feel like, all the time on his podcast.
Yeah, but it almost like make you think about things that you haven't even thought of yourself, and like bring something new to the forefront of you. It's such a skill, and like I so respect people that can do that.
Moving on to what product we can't live without this week. So, Pharrell has his own skincare line.
Yeah.
It's called Human Race.
Yeah.
Pharrell doesn't age. Like, he's like a vampire. Like, he literally looks the same age as he has done this entire time. So anything he puts on his face, I'm like, okay, that is going to work for me also. So it's called Human Race. It's amazing. The moisturizer, it's a hydrating moisturizer, and I swear to God, it is the best moisturizer I've ever
it's like
used.
a light texture,
really, really light. I can wear that and nothing else, like in the mornings, like really good for going makeup free. Doesn't feel like too oily. You kind of look dewy. Like, it just like ticks all of the boxes you want from a moisturizer. But really lightweight. Like, feels more like water based. Like, it's just,
nice.
Yeah, so they sell it in Selfridges, and I was like scraping it out this morning, so I need to get some more of that.
It's when you take the scissors to cut open the tube, that's when you're like, go and buy another product.
So yeah, Human Race by Pharrell. I want to age like Pharrell, basically.
Oh,
'cause he's
yeah.
still-
Give me what he's having.
yeah.
I similarly have just finished a product, the Beauty Pie Enzyme Cleanser. It's so good. I have like quite bumpy skin on my arms.
You literally have the clearest skin ever.
Thank you. You know, I feel like I've just blushed.
Literally every time you come in, I'm like, your skin is flawless.
Yeah.
I promise it isn't, but I appreciate all the
you
same.
make it look pretty.
It's a body cleanser. It has, I think it's got a really like low active in it, an AAH active, but it's so good for like ingrown hairs, bumpy skin, just like evening out skin texture and tone, and it smells delicious. So it's quite like a chunky bottle.
Yeah.
Lasted me a good couple of months.
Mine
that.
is 2 peptide products. Firstly is the Medicaid Advanced Peptide Serum, which we went to go and try with the growth serum factors.
It's
growth factors
so
in it.
good.
It's so good, and it literally like you put it on it like immediately. I think it's something like within like 10 seconds, it like plumps out your fine lines. It's like so good. And it's a really lovely like silky texture as well, which is super nice.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a Ola Henriksen peptide moisturizer. It's come in this little purple bottle. And it's kind of a mix between like a gel and a cream moisturizer. I don't know if you've used this one. No. And it's just really hydrating, really silky, but not like shiny hydrating. And I feel like sometimes when you put moisturizer on, you're like,
can
well,
get-
like I look a bit greasy now.
Yeah.
Whereas it kind of gives it that like satin finish of hydration, if that makes sense. Anyway, I really love both of them, like peptides. Like anyone that says peptide, I'm like, sign me up.
Carry on.
Boost this skin barrier
Yeah,
back.
literally, like fill me up.
Let's go.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I've got one more.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
It's good for anybody traveling or who gets like dry lips in the summer. The MALIN+GOETZ lip balm. It's like in a white tube with blue writing.
Oh, okay.
On a flight, I don't know what happens. Like all the moisture just gets completely sucked out of my face. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's always my lips that take the hit. It is so plumping, so hydrating.
Ooh, I'm obsessed with a good lip balm.
And it lasts. Like if you whack that, it's quite a thick lip balm. But if you whack that on, like
You can have it on for like
about
the
4
entire
hours.
flight.
Yeah, at least minimum.
Yeah.
And it looks really juicy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Little kiss. I love that. Lastly, we are moving on to dilemmas, guys. Best summer barbecue jams. What are you putting on the aux lead?
Summer barbecue jams. Oh, actually, I have a good one for this. I love the radio edits on Spotify.
Okay.
Olivia Dean Radio, Miguel Radio, Frank Ocean Radio.
Yeah.
Probably those 3. They're quite like a chill summer vibe.
Yeah, amazing. What are you
I
listening to?
honestly like do not have the coolest music taste. Like I honestly just like fun songs that like make me happy. I don't like a sad song.
No,
So
that's
like
fine.
mine are all the classics. Like we did a quiz last night for Blush, and there was like a what do you call it? Sing the intro. Be the intro.
It was, beat the intro.
We played
It's like
Beat the
a
Intro.
music round.
And it was all the classic. Like there was some Mariah, and I said to Jess, I was like, "Can I have the playlist for this after? This is really good." Yeah, they were fun, like boppy classics.
That was my favourite. My highlight was and there was like, what? Everyone was like, what is that? It was the intro to Wannabe.
Oh.
You know, the steps.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know? I thought that was. Is this thing on? You know, the Britney.
Oh, yeah.
I love rock and roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Would you let your fiance have a stripper at his stag do?
Yeah, let them live.
Like I would rather not, but like if they want to. Like,
If I'm having one at mine, he can have one.
It's only fair. I think as long as you're obviously really secure in your relationship, which if you're getting married, you should be at that point.
True.
I think
come on, let's have an element of trust here.
Yeah, like it's absolutely
to be
fine.
fair, if there's worry there, then maybe there's something.
Yeah.
There's a worry.
Yeah. Then maybe no wedding. Bloomers, yay or nay?
What do you mean bloomers? Like big pants?
No, have you seen those kind of like puffy shorts?
That you wear to bed?
No, you wear them out.
You'd wear them out?
Yeah.
Not coming out with you.
Have you not seen them?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah.
I just don't love them.
There you go. Yes or no for bloomer. You know the ones I'm talking about, don't you?
Like they're a little too like girly for me. We were talking about this the other day, actually. There are a lot
There
of
are
trends
different versions
that
of them.
I really rate and I really like. Or like I often will see pieces and I'm like, oh my God, love that dress. I could never wear it. We'll send it down his way. To be
Like, you give it a go.
It's a bit Little Bo Peep, no, the bloomers.
Yeah, honestly, it's very, like, even I put them on and I was like, it's on the cusp. Like, I was like, I don't know which way to go. Like, I did a poll on my Instagram for it and it was pretty much 50-50. I was like, love it or leave it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was half and half.
Each their own,
Yeah.
What about bucket hats as a grown-up?
I'm not cool enough to make it work, but if you are cool enough to make it work, like, congratulations.
I
really like the idea of it, but I think I would just feel like I'm dressing too young. Like, I feel like I'm dressing like
But
a
imagine like a chic, like Loewe one on holiday, like the denim ones that had like the straps.
Straps,
coming down. Like, I thought that looked so. Again, I couldn't pull that off, but when I
would
saw
do
it,
like a kind of a raffia. It's not a bucket hat. It's kind of like a Puglia den, you know?
Like a floppy hat?
No,
it's
not like
more
floppy. It's a bit more structured,
yeah.
almost like a thimble on your head.
Yeah, I know exactly
Do
what
you know
hat you're
what I mean?
talking
No,
about.
I don't know what you mean.
You know what a thimble looks like?
Yeah.
Like that.
With a hat. It's got like a little brim here and it comes. No?
Oh, okay. I do know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Not like bucket hat where it's just
No.
like too like structured. Like, I don't know, I think I would feel a little too unpolished.
Yeah,
And I would just,
feel-
I don't know, feel a bit like I'm dressing up.
If you're going to a festival,
I wouldn't wear a bucket hat.
lean in, I say. Yeah.
Lean into the look.
You can, I feel like festivals, you can kind of just reinvent yourself for however long the festival is.
True.
Yeah. And like anything goes there. I've seen some absolute madness.
Again, an opportunity if you like the hats at Ascot. I'm more that kind of guy.
Yeah. I'm going to go that way.
Yeah, but it's a fun way to lean into part of your personality. Maybe
Yeah.
you're like, we're going to try this today.
I know, it's so funny because I've actually been invited to Glastonbury this year, but it is the same time as Ascot, so
Come on.
it's I would go to Glastonbury again. Polly and I were having this conversation. I think I'd want to do like Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
When you're telling me Thursday to Monday, I'm
That's
like,
long.
whoa.
I'd like to be dropped in for one night and then be pulled back out.
Call the chopper.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm ready. But no, I do definitely want to do it 1 year.
Have you never done it?
I've never done it. I know.
I've never done
Oh my
it.
God, and Nana, you're such an avid walker. You'd smash it. She'd be there making the same days.
So, but that's like Nana in flats for 5 days. I don't think she'd cope.
You'd wear
She'd be
heels.
airlifted
No,
out.
I would
She'd
wear,
wear
yeah, I
heels.
would wear heels.
In the wild?
No, so
No, you wouldn't, Nana.
so
She would do a heeled boot. 100%.
What, with like a wedge in it?
No, not a wedge. So I have been one of the first festival, not the first time I went to Wilderness Festival with my best friend and her sister.
Yeah.
They've got this massive ditch, which if you've ever been to Wilderness, everyone will know about. And I had heeled boots and it was so hard getting back up. Going down was fine, but going back up the ditch in these heeled boots, everyone was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I can't, like, if it's raining or like it's a bit muddy, like I'll wear a welly, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would 100%. If it's just grass, like you can wear heels.
Yeah, but like it's never just grass. And also, I don't know, I feel like there'll be a little bit of jumping and impeding and I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway.
Fair play to you, Nana.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I think you should go just so that we can see you
Just see what heeled boots pop out. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. That's such a fun chat as always. Hope you guys enjoyed that. As I've said many times before, please make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. It really helps us out and we really appreciate it. I will see you next time.